Hello everyone. Now I am going to explain about the off-wave rectifier with capacitor filter. Okay. So here I will consider first the off-wave rectifier with capacitor filter. Okay. Or we can also call this one off-wave rectifier with shunt capacitor filter. Okay. What is the shunt means here? We will connect the output of the rectifier. Suppose if you consider this one is the rectifier, the output of this rectifier will be connected to the capacitor in parallel. Okay, so this is the thing here. It is the output of the rectifier. It may be a half-wave rectifier or full-wave rectifier. So the output of this rectifier is given to the capacitor. So why we have to connect this one in shunt? Okay, in previous discussion we have connected the inductor filter in series with the rectifier output because it passes the DC component and it blocks the AC component. Okay, but here we are having the rectifier that is connected in parallel with the capacitor, or the output of the rectifier is connected parallel with the capacitor C. Why it is connected in parallel? Because here if we observe this one, so the output consists of AC plus DC component. Okay, so the output of the rectifier consists of AC plus DC, right? So then why we have connected here in shunt means, so the capacitor has the property, it allows the AC current and it blocks the DC. What? The capacitor will allows the AC, C will allows, capacitor allows AC and blocks the DC. Okay. So here, therefore capacitor allows the AC and blocks the DC, and the output is connected to this capacitor here. So the output is coming, it consists of AC and DC, and here we are connecting the capacitor one end to the ground and another one end to the output of the rectifier. Okay, so here the AC capacitor passes the AC means it will flows like this. So the AC current flows through the capacitor and it is grounded here. The capacitor is grounded. So what happened here? The AC current, whatever the AC component that will comes here, and it cannot goes to this side and it will passes through the capacitor. Okay, and it blocks the DC component. It blocks the DC component means this capacitor cannot allow the DC. Therefore, the DC will choose another path. So that path is nothing but this one, the output path. Okay, so like that, because of this condition only, if you connect in series, so there will be a problem because it allows the AC current. So we are connecting in series means, so the output will also get only AC component. It blocks the DC. But if you connect like this, what happened here is whatever the AC that is obtained here, that will passes through the capacitor because it allows the AC and it is grounded here. So the total AC will goes through the ground and the DC will takes another path. That path is nothing but this one. Okay, like that we will filter out the AC component and we'll get the DC, pure DC value at the output side. That's why here we are going to connect this capacitor in parallel, or we can also call as a rectifier with shunt capacitor filter or parallel capacitor filter. Okay, suppose if I connect this one in series, so what happened here? So we'll get here AC plus DC, so it will pass AC component. That means we will get at the output side only AC. But what we require is DC component. So DC we are not getting here. So DC will block by the capacitor and only AC will comes here. So this is not our required output. Our required output is we require the DC. That's why we cannot connect this capacitor at the output of the rectifier in series connection. Okay, instead of that we will connect the parallel connection. Okay, that's why it is called as shunt capacitor filter. Okay, so that is the point why the basic thing why we have connected here in shunt. So here, if you consider the half wave rectifier or full wave rectifier, the capacitor is connected in parallel with the output of the rectifier. Up to this point, it is the output of the rectifier, half wave rectifier, and that output of the rectifier is connected with the capacitor in parallel combination, right? So this is nothing but the load resistor where we'll get the output. Okay, so this is why we connected at this point the capacitor, okay, in parallel combination. That is the reason behind that. Okay, now what is the output we will get if you connect a capacitor filter across the output of a rectifier? We will see. So for that one, I am having this one. Okay, here before going to that, we have to know what is the capacitor charging and discharging. Okay, so the capacitor will charge. Suppose if you apply some voltage to a capacitor, that is of its maximum value is Vm here. So here I am placing the capacitor, suppose, and here I am placing the load resistor here. So the capacitor will charges to the maximum value. Okay, after that, if you disconnect this one, so this will act as a voltage source and it will discharges through a load. Discharges through the load connected to it. Okay, so capacitor cannot discharge if you don't connect any load across it. Okay, so that is the charging and discharging of the capacitor here. We have also the time constant of a capacitor. The time constant will represent with tau. Tau is equal to R into C. Okay, R multiplied with C, you will get the time constant. Okay, so now I will go with the how you can get this type of waveform or the output as if you connect the output of the rectifier to the capacitor. Okay, so in the lab also we can observe this output. So before connecting the capacitor filter, you will get the output like this, but after connecting that, you will get the output like this. Okay, because of the capacitor filter, it is almost the DC component you will get. After that, if you use the regulator, you will get the pure DC value or constant value. Now I will go with this one. Okay, so here I am going to consider that cut-in voltage of the diode. Okay, so cut-in voltage means when the diode will be forward bias condition. When it is in the forward bias condition means whenever the input voltage or forward bias voltage reaches the cut-in voltage, there the maximum current will flow through the diode. That process is called as forward bias. Okay, so the forward bias voltage at which there is a current, high current will flow through the diode, that is called as what? The cut-in voltage. Okay, so now I am taking here, this is my input waveform, suppose. So this is my input waveform. So this is 0 to pi and pi to 2 pi. So here I am taking somewhere that is pi by 4 and this one is pi by 2. Okay, so this one is 3 pi by 4, right, and this one is pi. So at this point, up to this point, I am taking that voltage as V gamma, okay, the cut-in voltage of the diode. So that means up to this point, the diode cannot goes into the forward bias condition. Okay, so if you observe this one, up to this point here, what I have represented up to this point, that is at pi by 4, what happened? The diode cannot conduct. The diode cannot conduct means there is no current will flows through the capacitor. Okay, that means capacitor cannot charge. Okay, so if Vi, that is input, is equal to V gamma, that is cut-in voltage, the diode goes into forward bias. The D goes into forward bias here. Okay, when the diode goes into the forward bias, there will be a current flow will take place through this one. Okay, so that current I am taking as here I, and the current flow is taking place through the capacitor. Therefore, due to that, the capacitor will start charging. The capacitor starts charging. Okay, so if Vi is equal to V gamma, the cut-in voltage, the D, that is the diode, goes into the forward bias condition and the current will flows in the circuit here. Then therefore the capacitor will charges because of this current flow. Okay, and the capacitor will charges, and that I am indicating here up to this point. From this point to this point, the capacitor will charge. Okay, why the capacitor will charge here? Because from pi by 4 to pi by 2, it is the maximum voltage that is above the cut-in voltage of the diode. Suppose cut-in voltage is Vi is the applied voltage is less than V gamma, diode cannot conduct. That means there is no current will flow. The capacitor not charged. Okay, now the second case is here, as Vi is greater than or equal to V gamma, that is Vi is greater than or equal to, up to this point it is less than V gamma. From this point to this point, it is input is less than V gamma. So after this point, we will consider as up to this one. Up to this point, we will consider as this one as what? So that is Vi is greater than or equal to V gamma. So that is cut-in voltage. So if Vi is greater than or equal to V gamma, the capacitor will start charging, because the diode goes into the forward bias condition. So the capacitor will charge. Okay. So the charging of the capacitor I am showing here is this one, from this part to this part. From pi by 4 to pi by 2, the voltage, input applied voltage is greater than the cut-in voltage. So the diode will goes into the forward bias condition, and the capacitor, the current will flows in this loop. So the capacitor will charges to the Vc, that is the capacitor voltage. Okay. So now the capacitor is charging here up to this point also. Okay, now what happened here? After this pi by 2 to pi by pi, what happened? Gradually the input voltage is decreasing here. The input voltage is decreasing. Okay, so the input voltage is decreasing means what happened here? The diode voltage here, the third case is from pi by 2 to pi, the input voltage is decreasing, and diode gradually goes into the reverse bias condition. So the diode goes into off condition. Okay, diode goes into off condition means, is there any current flow? Diode goes into off condition, so it is open circuited here. For ideal case, it is open circuited. Okay, there is no current will flows. That means this capacitor will acts as a voltage source, and it will discharges through the load RL. Okay, so what is the point here? As we takes from pi by 2 to pi approximately, what happened here? The input voltage is decreasing. This is actually, it is maximum voltage. After that, it is gradually decreasing. So the diode goes gradually into the reverse bias condition, and after crossing this V gamma, below this V gamma value, so the diode completely goes into the off condition. Okay, so diode completely goes into the off condition means this is open circuited and there is no current will flow. That means the capacitor cannot charge. Instead of that, the capacitor will act as a voltage source with the capacitor voltage. Off condition, so the capacitor stops charging. Okay, capacitor stops charging, and what happened here? This capacitor will act as, because here we have connected the load across the capacitor. Whenever a capacitor is charged, and if you connect a load across it, so the capacitor will discharges through that load. So now this capacitor will act as a voltage source with voltage V suffix C, and it will discharges through the load. Okay. Now the fourth point is here, the capacitor acts as voltage source and discharges through load RL. Okay, it will discharges through the load RL because there is no current flow from this point to this point. Okay, and at the same time here we have the reverse half cycle, that is negative half cycle. At this point also there is no conduction will takes place. We are applying the negative, so that becomes what here. So until pi by 2 to pi, that is pi 0 to pi, here we have some positive voltage. But from pi by 2 to 2 pi, we are having the negative half cycle. That means what here? It becomes negative and positive. So here the anode is connected with the negative terminal and the cathode is connected with the positive terminal. So the diode reverse bias. So here we don't have any voltage here. That means the capacitor cannot charge. Okay, it will goes on discharging. Okay, because the diode is in reverse bias condition only. Okay, so therefore the charging is taking place from this point to this point. This is what the charging position of the capacitor. Charging period of capacitor. Okay, charging period of capacitor. And now what happened here? After this point pi by 2, the capacitor gradually goes into the reverse bias condition, and here there is no voltage that is present in the output of the rectifier. So it is present in the completely in the reverse bias condition at that point. Therefore, after reaching this point, the capacitor starts discharging and it will discharges up to 2 pi. Okay, so that's why here if you observe this one, this point to this point, that is the diode goes into the off condition. So whenever the diode input voltage crosses the V gamma, so then the capacitor will charges, and this one is what? The discharging period. Discharging period of capacitor. Okay, so these are the points we can observe here. As the input voltage crosses the cut-in voltage, the diode goes into the on condition. So I have shown here also this green region, that is nothing but on condition of the diode. Whenever the diode is on, the capacitor starts charging because of the current flow in the circuit. The capacitor charges from this point to this point. So after that, what happened is there will be a decreasing in the input voltage. Because of that, the diode goes into the reverse bias condition, and the capacitor will act as a voltage source and it will discharges. So here from this point to this point we will consider as the charging period of the capacitor, and from this point to this point we will consider as the discharging point of the capacitor. Okay, so here if you observe this one, here there is no up and downs that are present in the output of the capacitor, only it is a straight line. Okay, so that is nothing but we will consider as the DC component. Now again what happened here? Here the positive cycle will obtain for us, that is in the output. So up to this point we don't get any capacitor charging, that's why it is discharges. Again it will charges and discharges. So this process will be continuous because the output of half-wave rectifier consists of like this 0 to pi, and it is pi to 2 pi. Okay, so up to this point the capacitor charges, and from this point to this point the capacitor goes on discharging. Again here the wave is started, so the output waveform consists of some voltage, so the capacitor starts charging and discharging. Okay, like that the capacitor charging and discharging will take place in this one depending on the diode on condition and off condition. So these points are very important here. Whenever Vi is less than the V gamma, that is cut-in voltage, diode cannot conduct and the capacitor cannot charge. So after that, if it is greater than or equal to V gamma, the diode will conduct and the capacitor charges to the peak value. After that, the third case is from pi by 2 to pi, the input voltage is decreasing. So therefore, the diode will goes on to the off condition and there is no current will flow. The capacitor starts discharging. That means at that point, the capacitor will act as a voltage source and it will discharges. So that process will continue because for every pi radians, there will be a one positive half cycle will get at the output of the half-wave rectifier. So at that point the charging and discharging will take place here. So this is about the half wave rectifier with the capacitor filter output. This one is the output of the capacitor filter, and this dotted lines whatever we have here, it is the output of rectifier, output of half wave rectifier. So whatever the dotted lines here we have indicated, that gives the output of the half wave rectifier, and for that output the capacitor will act as a charging and discharging, and the output of the capacitor here what we will get, this is the output of the capacitor. That output of the capacitor is represented with the dotted lines. This is the output across the capacitor, right? So in that one we have charging and discharging depending on the diode on and off conditions. Okay, so this is about the operation of the half wave rectifier with a capacitor filter. Okay, thank you for watching. Subscribe our channel.